Hello, and welcome to this edition of Garbage Time on UWW TV. I'm Eli Stickles, and this week I'm joined by Josh Kirore and Luke LaMorte, and our job for the next 30 minutes is to simply talk about sports. So grab your popcorn, take a seat, and enjoy the show, because we got some trash to talk. Let's start off on the freezing cold rink of the National Hockey League. The trade deadline is coming up on March 6th. Guys, what are some big buyers and sellers we have?
We have some interesting ones, and I think I just want to talk about a trade first and foremost. Fascinating to me, absolutely fascinating. And I need to question. Now he's going to the LA Kings. Will it even matter? Are they even going to make the playoffs in the first place? I mean, if I read correctly, I think there's a stipulation in that trade contract that would give more to the Rangers if the Kings were to win in the playoffs. Are they even going to make it there in the first place?
That's a good.
They are 6th place in their division last I checked, and they did lose to the Avalanche. And also, they fired their coach.
Yeah.
There's going to be more on that later.
Oh, yes.
But honestly, it's not really looking good for the Kings.
I don't know. It's just questionable to me. I don't fully understand it, but we'll see if they're right.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I've got the Colorado Avalanche as one of the bigger buyers. They had a deep roster this year, and they acquired Brett Kulak this year, and traded him for Girard, who they got Kulak for a fraction of the cost. Yeah. He was the 3rd highest paid defenseman, and he was playing the 5th most minutes. Yeah. So they're saving money here. They can use that to build more. And so I think they're the biggest buyers, and I got New York Rangers for our sellers.
Fair enough.
They already released a note to fans, so.
Yeah. Staying on the topic of the National Hockey League, what are some teams that are standing out to you guys?
I mean, if you had told me last year that the San Jose Sharks would be next in line for a wild card spot, I would have lost my mind. You'll have to forgive me because I had not checked the NHL standings for a little while before I looked at that. I went to a game last season between them and the Blackhawks in a battle of who was going to be the worst team in the NHL. It's absolutely unbelievable to see that they are anywhere even remotely near contention whatsoever, and it makes me feel worse about being a Blackhawks fan as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One team I have the Buffalo Sabres. Last year, this team was 7th in the Atlantic Division. They went 36, 39, and 7, and they missed the playoffs. This year, they are 35, 19, and 6, 2nd place in the Atlantic. And in their last game they played, they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, who currently lead the Atlantic Division 6-2. They are currently 7-2-1 in their last 10 games.
Yeah?
Talk about a turnaround.
That is a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, that is. I got the Dallas Stars. They've recently really impressed me. Right now, as of last night, they're on a 9-game win streak, and they're 2nd in the Central Division. So they've got the good momentum, and with the postseason creeping up, they're looking really good. And if they can continue, they're going to be in a good place.
Yeah, absolutely. The Colorado Avalanche, man, they are literally the best team in the NHL. They lead the NHL in so many categories.
That is absolutely true. I mean, it's going to be just a question of how far. It's not if. Yep. It's just kind of.
Exactly.
Let's move on to the hardwood floor of the National Basketball Association. Who do you think is going to be the Rookie of the Year?
Go ahead.
I got Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year, the Blue Devil himself. And it's not, I mean, he is leading these other rookies in contention and stats and points. But it's not just about that. For me, it's about how he's the youngest player in the league and the poise he plays with, the composure and consistency. It's insane to see. And for him to be doing that at this age and breaking the LeBron's 42-point record for an 18-year-old, he's just playing insane right now, so I've got him.
Yeah, I find it crazy how all of us are literally older than Cooper Flagg. Even as a freshman, I am older than Cooper Flagg.
It's weird to think about.
He's supposed to be a freshman in college now.
Yeah, no, and he decided, hey, I'm gonna go move up a year.
Yep.
Speaking of Duke Blue Devils, I got the Wisco Kid himself, Con Knippel. He's broken 3 NBA records all of a sudden. He is the fastest player in the NBA to reach 100 three-pointers made, the fastest player in NBA history to reach 200 three-pointers made, and he is the most three-pointers made by a rookie with 209 and still counting because this season's not over. This kid's the next Steph Curry.
I mean, it's a 2-horse race, let's be completely honest with ourselves here. I'm just going to throw in another name just for the sake of thinking about it here. I think Derek Queen has been absolutely astounding this season, and it's not going to be for all too much in terms of the Rookie of the Year voting, given the 2 you just talked about, but I think he's been doing really good, leading with rebounds, leading with assists. Apparently also doing post-game reporting. I don't know, man, multi-talented guy. So
there you go.
You got to give credit where it's due to someone who's really playing well, especially if it's not going to be, as widely noticed as the other guys. Yeah. But I absolutely think he should be at least on people's minds in the talk, in the contention, even if he's definitely not being those other two. You can't forget about guys like that because he's probably got only a much higher ceiling to go from here.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
Definitely one of the most underrated rookies. Staying on top of the National Basketball Association, who are some teams that might be making the playoffs?
I think this one's a little out there. I don't think this is the one that comes to people's minds immediately, but I think a team in a really odd spot right now is the Lakers, where they're right on the fringe, where they're still in a playoff spot right now if the season were to end today. They could slip back into a play-in spot. They could go further up. It just completely depends on their health, their team's health, more than anything. But it's just such an odd dichotomy of a team because when they are healthy, they seem like they belong in the spot that they do. But when they're anything less, their offense is middling and their defense is worse. It's hard to say where they're going to go or find themselves exactly.
Yeah. Here's a spicy hot take.
Oh,
this is going to sound like bullcrap to you guys.
Oh, boy.
But I have the Chicago Bulls going to the playoffs somehow,
my.
miraculously. Despite them not winning a single game in February, they're only 5.5 games behind for the play-in tournament. It's going to be really unlikely, but imagine such a underdog story.
You can't just start with they haven't won a game in the entire month of February. I mean, that is a hot take if I've ever
really
seen it, man.
Wow.
I don't know about that, but if it ends up happening, I will pay all given respects to Eli Stickles.
Yeah, if that comes true,
it's probably not going to happen. But I
we'll see.
I don't know.
For me, I've got the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think with Anthony Edwards leading the way and the way he's playing on offense and defense, a star that is really trying on the defensive end too. You don't see that always today. But I think with him leading the charge and guys like Rudy Gobert behind them leading the defense and Naz Reid, guys like that, I think this team has good depth and a good leader that could get them there, and I think they can make a good push.
For sure. That Timberwolves team is unbelievable, and I think you also had another team as well.
I was also thinking the Knicks, actually. I just saw them play this weekend, and I wouldn't have put them on here, but after seeing them play, I was impressed by a lot of things. OG Anunoby is the main, he impressed me so much. I mean, I know he's good, but he moves like a guard almost at 6'7". He can shoot the ball really well. And when Jalen Brunson came out, because they were so far ahead, he had like 20 points. So
man, that Knicks team is unbelievable. I also watched them on TV. I think they're playing the Spurs. No, I wouldn't think it was the Spurs. It was one of the teams, but I knew it was going to be a really good game from the start because both of those teams are going to be making the playoffs at high seeds. And what do you know? It was a really good game, like triple digits going to overtime. That's how good of a game I'm talking about. Next,
sometimes
we're going to be moving on to motorsports, which we haven't really talked about at all on this show. Formula One, the Melbourne Grand Prix starts March 7th. Guys, who are some drivers or teams that are looking good going into this season?
So I'm gonna start with teams. For teams, I got Red Bull. They weren't top of the testing sheets in Bahrain testing 1 and 2, but they were constantly in that group of top 4 with Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari. So they're right up there, and so it looks like they made a good car, but obviously, with testing, team sandbag, which means they don't show the car's full performance to not let everyone know what they have. But Red Bull is looking good, and I also have Ferrari. Ferrari showed real pace. They were fastest overall in testing 1 and 2, and they were the fastest off the line in all the practice starts. So the car is looking competitive, but with Ferrari, it's about execution. Until we see them call a good strategy, I think the Tifosi, the Ferrari fans, might want to be cautious with their optimism.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
For my team, I have McLaren.
Of course.
Not only did they win in 2025, they dominated. They had 833 points as a team, and also this team behind them, which I think was Mercedes, they had only like 400-some points. So this proves that this team just is in a league of their own. Plus, they have both their drivers returning, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri.
It's all Lando. I'm always hearing about Lando, and I get it. I know he won the last time that this race happened, but I'm gonna. Maybe this is a hot take to say I don't even know if he's gonna win it this time. I actually am not literally putting my money, but if I had to bet, I'd say Mercedes on this one. I think just their test runs were really, really good, and that's with the sandbagging counted. So I think if they actually get their potential and the weather doesn't screw people over like a year ago, I think they might actually have a good chance at winning this one, even though maybe not the biggest crowd favorite choice when Lando and Oscar are going, but I think they might have that one.
Yeah, Mercedes was insane on the testing sheets too. So, and with George Russell, vet, he's seasoned, and Kimi, he's only in his second year, but he's doing amazing. So it's going to be great. Mercedes is going to be a team to watch, definitely.
And in terms of drivers, I want to hear what drivers you got.
For the Drivers' Championship, I've got Max Verstappen. It looks like Red Bull made a great car, and pairing Max Verstappen with a great car. I mean, last year with a tractor, came back 4 points down. So if you give Max a quick car, that's going to be dangerous for the rest of the grid always. And yeah, I can't put anyone else above him.
Guys, say it with me. Da 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 da.
Max Verstappen.
All right, let's take a short break. When we return, we'll sort through our remaining sports garbage right after this. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the show. Josh, let's take a look at some highlights from this last game here. What a performance by the UWW TV staff in this one.
Absolutely. Look at this clip. Bree is going to signal for Ryan to cut to camera 2, but instead Ryan's going to cut to 3, and that's where things might take a turn. But hold on a second here. Just when you think it's over, Bree makes the split-second decision and reaches over Ryan to cut to camera 2 herself.
And the truck goes wild. Once again, the UWW TV staff delivers.
You can see it. His potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Here at UW Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on! That's it anyways. Oh, she got that off. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes! Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Welcome back to Garbage Time on UWW TV. Let's continue with some more sports. Next, we're going to move back to the hardwood floor with UWW Women's Basketball. So what's a recap on the season? What are some things this team needs to work on?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting season, but it's not technically over just yet. That's the most fun part about it. So even though there was a little bit of a disappointing loss at the end of the WIAC tournament, luckily our women's basketball team did get an at-large bid, so they will be going into the national championship playoff tournament. Their round 1 matchup, for those curious, will be on March 6th. That is against, I kid you not, Transylvania University. I did not know that was a real school. It sounded more like a prequel to the Hotel Transylvania movies, but no, that is who they are playing, and it is apparently a very strong school. So absolute best of luck to our women's team on that. But I think that's great. Even if you're coming off a tough loss, to know that your season is not over. It's not what you have to end on. You get to make it to the big show, even if it's just for one game. I think that's a great motivator for this team.
Yeah.
This team has definitely had some big wins against ranked teams. I'm talking like East Texas Baptist. I think Platteville was one of them. They also had like a win against La Crosse. Now, granted, this team was basically ranked throughout the season. In fact, I think top 10 at one point.
Wow.
Unfortunately, kind of did fall throughout conference play because they were 8-6 in the conference, finishing 3rd overall.
It's a tough conference.
It is a really tough conference. We're basically like apparently someone like consider us like the SEC of Division III.
Wow.
Sports.
That is pretty crazy.
So what are some things this team could definitely work on going into the playoffs or next season?
I think going into the playoffs, I think it would be really helpful if the team could utilize the three-point line more. They play mainly inside. They like the inside game, the twos, and they're winning playing that way. So, and when it comes to close games, maybe in the tournament, and seeing teams that use that three-point line a little bit more, it would be really helpful to be able to utilize that more and trust that more, I think.
Yeah, I think one thing they also need to work on is their free throw percentage. They've had a lower free throw percentage than their opponents. For us, it was 69.1%, and the opponents 74.1%.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of those things are going to end up contributing a lot if they can work on, because what you ended up seeing at the end of that WIAC tournament, they lost by about 20.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a little unusual for this team, but that's a tough thing, and it would be even harder if that's how you ended your season. So to have another breath of fresh air and be able to work on those two things that you mentioned, I think would be great. I think they've had a very strong team. I think someone like Renee Rittmeyer, really strong rebounds leader, second in steals as well. That's someone that's been constantly getting them more opportunities on the court. So with the team that they have, I think they can do it. I think they can keep going.
I think they can too.
For sure. Josh, do you also have another player in mind?
Yeah, I think one of the strongest leaders the team's had this year is Maya Gillis.
Yeah.
She's the junior forward. She's averaging 12.4 points per game and 5.1 rebounds, leading the team in both those areas. And so, yeah, she's just been dominating on both ends of the floor. And I think with her continuing to do that and the rest of the pieces they have the whole team contributes every game. The bench contributes. So I think if they can keep doing what they're doing and Maya Gillis continues playing the way she's been playing, they can make a good run.
Agreed.
All right, so now that we're near the end of our show today, I want to play a little game called Is It Garbage? So I'm going to give you guys a topic, and you guys are going to tell me if it should be considered garbage or not. Okay. Let's begin on the diamond. We have Florida versus Miami. We have that balk call in the 7th. Is it garbage?
I'm going to have to say it's garbage.
Really?
I had to watch that thing back like 10 times at least, and I was zooming in and everything. And I think the pitch that got the balk call, he did move a little bit quicker, and the stop was harder to see, but I do think he did stop.
I don't know if he did, man. I don't honestly. Here's the thing. Nobody ever is going to like a balk call.
Yeah,
it's just one of the most inconsistent things in pretty much any sport because of how loosely it's defined, and umpires don't have to do it very often. So anytime you do see it, you feel like, why did this not happen before? But it probably just never happened before. So, but you can't grade them on their consistency with that like you can balls and strikes. So I don't know. When I was watching that footage, I think I've been called balks on for less than that myself personally in my time playing. So it's always going to depend on the umpire, and you hate to see it in such an intense, important situation. But
I think that was the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yes, and you're right. It did screw them over. But I don't know if it's garbage. But maybe if you want to call balks garbage, I don't blame you. But I don't know if that one in particular was.
Yeah, honestly, balks are really hard to see. Plus, also, I think it's garbage for like what it just led them to.
I get it.
Ryan Bilka, he got out of a bases loaded jam with no outs, and they were called back because a balk was called. Florida would take the lead, up 5-4 in the 9th inning, 3-run shot, game over. Florida wins 8-4. Man, that's just terrible luck.
It is.
It's difficult, but like end of the day, that is a part of the umpire's job. So I think he did the job right, but I don't blame you if you don't.
Moving on, we have the Los Angeles Kings, who they fired their head coach. Is that garbage?
I think it's a little bit garbage. Not necessarily because that guy didn't have to go. Probably did, in all honesty, but I don't think they're doing anything to actually fix the problem. You're just promoting the assistant as interim for the rest of the season. What are you really doing? If your message is, hey, we understand we're not doing well and we're changing things, we're making these big trades and all these, we want to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is DJ Smith the right guy for that? I don't know if he is.
We just want a tank so we can get a good shot at the draft lottery.
We wouldn't be making that trade if that's what you're doing.
That's true.
Probably not. Also, here's the thing, though. With Jim Keller, he was their head coach after 2 seasons. Sure, the Kings struggled with injuries and performance, which ended up leading him to a 5-game losing streak. But despite his 93, 58, and 24 record with the Kings under him, I don't really think it's I think it's kind of garbage.
You think so?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it's maybe a different reason than me, but what is your reasoning on that?
I mean, still, I guess he's pretty solid, but at the same, it's kind of iffy on my part.
That's fair.
Because, you can literally be like one of the best coaches ever, and if you still have like some like bad outing for like many games or so, you could definitely get fired for such things.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say not garbage too. He did have a winning record overall, like you said, but in the postseason, his record is 3-8. So he just wasn't getting it done. And I think this year the Kings want to make a little push for the title. They added a lot of pieces over the summer, like a veteran in Corey Perry.
Right.
And with Anze Kopitar retiring this year, they want to use the pieces they have while they still have them.
That is true.
So I think the key word's now. Like he wasn't getting it done now, so maybe promoting the assistant coach. Some could say like you could have gone for someone better, but I think now it's just you got to try something new because he's not getting it done.
That's a fair point. I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Moving on to the gridiron of the NFL, we have the Jermaine Johnson II and Tavondre Sweat trade. Is that garbage?
No. I honestly don't think it is, to the point where I think there's at least mild benefit at best for both sides in this. If you're the Jets, you're getting the better end of this, which is rare for the Jets. But, I mean, we spent a whole lot of time trashing the Jets on this show, but for once, I think they might have done something right with this one. What this allows them to do, freeing up enough salary to work with Breece Hall better to try and make sure that he stays with that team long term, I think that could be great for them. And as it is, I mean, I think Sweat's a pretty good fit for them, a good fit, a good budget fit. Jets are kind of winning on this one. Yeah. And it's not like the Titans are losing either, because you needed better pass rushing, right? Now, is it a little questionable if the guy's at the end of his rookie contract? Yeah, it's maybe not perfect, but I don't know if Sweat was the right fit for them anyway. So I'm going to just go ahead and say I think this one is just not garbage in general.
Yeah, honestly, this one's pretty fair. One source says that it's a strategic swap because the Jets, they've acquired a young, high-impact interior lineman.
Right.
And then Sweat to bolster their run defense as well. I mean, the Jets, they're stuck in the rebuild phase. Yeah. It's going to be like that for a really long time. They definitely need to work on their offense, pretty much everything. Just the team is just downright terrible, and a great move definitely can come up with a high cost of, well, not really say a cost, but high impact.
Yeah. I agree. I think not garbage. I think both teams get what they want. The Jets are looking to add a little bit more size up front.
That's exactly right.
And this kind of reinforces the thought that they might also use their pick to get Edmund.
Yeah.
So, moving on to our final segment, the garbage play of the week, or what we consider the garbage thing of the week.
Yeah, plays maybe in this case might be a good way to put it, because what I want to talk about, it has been very interesting to watch within the past few weeks or so. Within the start of MLB spring training, we've seen the introduction of the ABS challenge system for balls and strikes. Now, it's been a part of the minor leagues for quite some time now, but now it's being really, really fully integrated going into this season, and we're seeing a lot of strategy emerge with that with teams in terms of when do you want to challenge and when do you not. And what I think has been really fascinating is there's only 3 parties allowed to challenge. It's the hitter, the catcher, the pitcher, but one of those 3 is garbage at it. And I think what's been being proven thus far is I don't think most pitchers are ready to do that just yet.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy how accurate ABS is.
It is.
Literally, I don't know how in the world a hitter was able to judge that a strike call was 0.1 inches off.
But that's exactly why you have the catcher do it. They're the ones receiving. They're the ones that have such a great angle on it. And they're also the ones that know what they're doing with their own framing, how they're moving their glove.
That's very
the
true.
Pitcher can be fooled by that. Maybe, I don't know, the hitter can't see it, but you're right, in that type of velocity, it's hard to judge. I feel like the catcher is the best vantage point. And we're seeing, I don't know if pitchers have, I think they have a less than 50% success rate with their challenges thus far. I think they're just kind of garbage at it.
I got to agree. I think the catcher has the best point of view, and he's the best person to call it, I think. I mean, he can feel the move he makes and feel if he's going out. So I do have to agree. I think they have the best angle.
Might get to the point where framing's pretty much pointless.
I wouldn't go that far, because here's the other question. When is the right time in the game to actually use your challenges? Are you going to use it in the first 5 innings?
Yeah, like honestly, why would you? Like if you're down like 0-2 and like the bottom 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs, it's a terrible call. You can definitely do that. That's going to come in clutch, absolutely.
You want to have it, right? So that's why I think framing's not going away, because you're going to need it to buy some of those pitches early, or maybe force out challenges early on if people are willing to use them one way or another. So I don't think the strategy is being harmed too much. But I mean, actually, let's put it this way. Do you think the ABS system in general is garbage?
Not at all. It's a really, really good system. It's crazy how accurate it is. And I feel like it's just, in my opinion, probably because I've seen it so many times on social media, I kind of feel like it is overused, but it's probably not used as much as I think it is because
that's true.
of social media.
Yeah, I mean, have you sat down and just watched a game start to finish kind of thing?
Not at all. I mean, I haven't really been able to watch.
No, and that's completely fair. I just mean it's one of those pacing things where if it's that sporadically put throughout the game, and the average number of challenges I think is like 5, 6 throughout a game. No, I think it's not an unreasonable number, and I think you're sacrificing a tiny bit of pace for such a big amount of actual appreciation from the fans that you finally feel like the umpires can finally be put in their place sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can't complain. As a big baseball fan, I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to be going to the World Baseball Classic coming up pretty soon.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
It's a good time for baseball. I think it is a good time for baseball. I think we're going to be entering a garbage time not too long after this with the looming lockout that's almost certainly going to happen. So appreciate it while it's here, while we can still talk about it.
100%.
Thanks, team, but we are currently out of time. Stay tuned to UWW TV for more garbage next week. For Luke LaMorte and Josh Kirore, I'm Eli Stickles, and this has been Garbage Time on UWW TV.